Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me this afternoon is Jeff Dostalek, Fitch-Rona EMS. It's been a while, Jeff, since we've had you on the show.
Yes.
And we appreciate you taking the time, of
My
course.
pleasure.
A lot has happened since the last time I'd seen you. And one of the big one, you guys had done the hiring, and we're still working on it. That's my fault. It's on me, Jeff. It's on me. I'm professional here. To have meet the new folks that you brought on
Yes.
to fill that third ambulance, which is now finally moved over to the new Station 3.
Yes.
And so tell me a little bit about what's been going on here in the last month and a half.
Sure. Yeah, we're really excited to have the 7 new full-timers on board. In addition to the 7 full-timers, we've hired 12 LTE part-timers to help fill the schedule. You can imagine with 21 full-time staff starting in January, we'll have vacation times, paid time off, and we need to fill those hours. So we obviously don't want to fill those with overtime if we don't have to. So we've hired LTE staff as well. And we're fortunate to have some really good candidates that have come through. We had 63 or so applicants apply for the full-time position back at the beginning of the year. And for those that didn't get hired, most of the people that came into our LTE pool came from that full-time list. So we had a lot of great candidates. We moved over to Station 3 a couple of weeks ago. We put the third ambulance up starting in August, on August 1st. And for 4 weeks or so, both crews were living out of the Station 2 location and just alternating calls. But we were really glad to get over to the east side. Obviously, it reduces response times to that area, and that was the key reason why we put that ambulance up. So they're all snuggled in and ready to go, and they're running calls quite a bit, actually.
I was going to say that we're talking about those times being cut down on that side of town. That's a huge deal for you guys when it comes to, you're thinking probably it was 10 minutes or plus to get over in some of the areas on that side. So that's pretty impressive.
Right. Yeah, we've made some great strides. You know, when I started here in 2015, we didn't even have Station 2 where it's located now, so we were still on King James Way. And now moving to Marketplace has really helped response times in that east side. And then now with the opening of Station 3 has helped greatly. So we should see if that ambulance is in quarters and it's running calls. So we should see a marked decrease in response times to that east side and that southeast part of our district.
Wow, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear, and glad everybody's kind of moving along as it goes. What else do you have on the docket?
So we're now that station is open, we're just waiting for some what should I say, communication stuff to get fixed in there. The overhead paging, computer access, all of that kind of stuff. There's still some glitches with that, but that should be improving in the next week or two. And then it looks like Patrick and I, Chief Anderson and I, will split some time up there during the day so that we have some supervisory presence on both sides. Not that they need to have a supervisor there, but we're hoping to get that second response car up in January. And once that happens, then each of us will have an opportunity to respond and help out where needed. And as in the case we had on Friday, we had all 3 ambulances in Verona at one time. So if that location has a car and a supervisor to respond, then at least we can get some coverage up there as well with the fire department.
Yeah, you don't think of that of the Verona. You know, I don't. Easy for me to say, but you don't think of even the Verona ambulance having to come to Fitchburg or vice versa. It is Fitch-Rona. It's in the name, so so you're working together. Also, probably being in that location at Station 3, you're able to help out the town and some things more to the south that weren't maybe there before.
Sure.
And it's all in the name of good health. I mean, it's not there's no barriers here. It's whatever the closest unit is, then that was adopted quite a long time ago.
Right, yeah. So as part of the ALS agreement in Dane County, running as a 2 paramedic system, which we run as, then we're open to any sort of mutual aid, auto aid type calls. And we have found with the intercepts, actually the first day that we were actually in Station 3, we went to McFarland on an auto aid call. We've been requested from Stoughton and Oregon as well. So those calls that were initially going to the town of Madison or to the city because they had faster access down Highway 14 are now coming to Fitch-Rona because of that east side. So, and the other thing that's nice with that third station is it does keep the Verona ambulance in Verona more frequently. So, with 60% of the calls coming out of Fitchburg, with 2 ambulances, that Verona ambulance was responding up to Fitchburg quite a bit. So now that there's 2 ambulances in Fitchburg, reduce the response times, and we're keeping that third ambulance in Verona.
It's something it's weird to think about when you really think about that we have we're up to 3 ambulances, but really we had 1 ambulance in one area and 1 ambulance in another, 2 big cities, and
right.
That's crazy to think about, but you guys have handled it very, very well. As you're leading into the fall here, into the winter, what are some things that you guys gear up for, come for training and prep? We're in the fall now.
We're in the fall, yeah. Today is day 1, right, of fall?
Sure is.
So we'll look at, for internally our QA process is more robust than it's been. We've been spending a lot of time on that, thanks to Lieutenant Wells. Lieutenant Imhoff and Schnabel have been working on some training stuff. So we're doing some internal training as far as run review and kind of diving a little bit deeper into the calls that we're running to make us better. And then we'll, for fall, we'll obviously prepare for the winter season. We put extra stuff on the ambulances, and, driving skills will become important for people. And we have a lot of new people, so they're all experienced, but still driving a big ambulance in a city they don't know of. So we'll practice some of that as well.
Yeah, it is a unique setup, both Verona and Fitchburg, the way it's laid out. So a lot of major highways, which pose a threat in many different ways, but also the rural area of Fitchburg too. A little bit of everything. Yeah, isn't that the best part of EMS, right?
It is. It makes this fun.
Jeff, well, I appreciate the time, and
My pleasure.
We'll get you back in here hopefully on a regular basis. That's still on me, Jeff. Still on me.
No worries. We're always here.
We just put you in the corner. Fitch-Rona's over there. No, I appreciate the time.
My
Tell
pleasure.
everybody
Anytime.
hi, and we'll get you back next month.
We will do.
All right, that's Jeff Dostalek, Fitch-Rona EMS Deputy Chief, because the big guy wouldn't come down here.
That's not true.
We have to call him out. We got to call him out sometimes. Appreciate his time. We'll get the Fitch-Rona back next month. We'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.